Hello and welcome to the Art Beat of Chattanooga, where art lives. We're glad you're here today on this lovely day in Chattanooga with a lot going on in the arts right now. Kind of feels like spring is on us almost, and we're just rocking and rolling with all kinds of art things going on here. So I'm glad you joined us today. We're hopefully going to have a call coming in from some folks at the Art Gallery with some exciting things they have going on. So I'm hoping they can make that phone call, but we're just going to have some fun in the meantime. So I'm here with Russell Stroud, another radio station host, and we're just going to talk about some things that are going on and kind of get Russell's response. You know, you're not an artist, right, Russell?
Well, I mean, I am, but not in the traditional sense.
Now we can get into that argument already. I love it. We like to have that talk here at the station. What is art? Who's an artist?
I mean, I like to think that my vocal talents count as art, but, you know, some people might dispute that. Sure.
Well, you are a radio host. And so when you do your hosting, is your goal to evoke emotional response, or is it to make them mad, which is emotional response? Or
it depends on the show, right? Because if I do the news in the morning, it's not my job to give people an emotional response. But sometimes if you write your copy well enough, you can. Just to give a quick example, there was that story a little while ago of a man, Mr. Sexton, who was shot by the police, or rather the sheriff's deputies up in Sale Creek, and he was shot 15 times. And the news story obviously doesn't say anything about whether or not that's a good thing or whether or not it was justified. The news story is the news story, but presenting it in the sense that we're only getting the end of his story, and sort of presenting it in that way, I think really framed it well. Not to toot my own horn, but it sort of, I think, framed it well, a little bit differently than other people were doing it. So yeah, that's an emotional response I was hoping to get from that.
Right. So he was shot 15 times. That sounds like a crime of passion.
Well, he was shot by sheriff's deputies 15 times. He, according to the police, pulled a gun. Sort of a suicide by cop type deal. The way that I sort of framed it is he basically knew his life was over no matter what. You get in a 2-hour police chase, which is what just happened. He got in a 2-hour police chase. You're either going to jail for a long time and prison, or you're going out with a bang. And it seems like he chose the second option, because even before the police chase, it seemed like his life as he knew it was essentially over, because he had a restraining order pressed against him, or rather order protection against him from his wife. So his life was, I don't want to say shambles, but it was definitely different from what it was before.
Or 15 bangs.
15 bangs from an unknown number of shooters too, by the way.
Yeah. So hold on. We got a phone call. Just hold for a moment. Hello. Thanks for calling the Art Beat of Chattanooga. This is Jill. Hi.
This is Carrie Pendergrass. I'm calling from Art Gallery.
Wonderful. Hello, Carrie. I'm so glad that you could call.
Well, thank you. I'm glad too.
I was very excited when I kind of stumbled across the wonderful things going on with the Art Gallery and this show that you have coming up. I believe it's starting this evening.
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about that? I hear that you're kind of the person who put this story together, and this is Katrina Cabe, a local artist who has been through a lot in life, right?
Yes. So she was formerly homeless and also a prostitute, and had issues with substance abuse. And I don't know the complete ins and outs, but had sort of a spiritual awakening and found God, and has had help from other people along the way, and has been able to completely leave that life behind. And she now actually, in addition to a regular career helping adults get their GEDs, she also helps with or leads a ministry at her church, and they help prostitutes that have addiction issues.
Well, that's amazing. You know, the bravery of a person to step out and say that I was addicted, I lived the life of a prostitute, and to bring that out in society, that's right there. That shows a lot of courage and passion to get improvement in your life. So when I ran across this story, because I love following the Heart Gallery, because those of you who are listening, the Heart Gallery is we got a lot of background noise there. Are you on a speakerphone?
No,
okay.
I'm not.
Just at the gallery?
Loud in here. I'm trying to go to a different spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's always
we
active.
Have a class going
That's the
on
fun
right
thing.
now.
The Heart Gallery has classes going on all the time, and it's an active place in Chattanooga where people like Carrie can, reach into this world and share their stories, share their life. And this is a photography exhibit. Is that correct?
Yes, photography, digital photography. It's all black and white.
Oh, so I'm excited to see this. And this is tonight at opening from 5 to 8 p.m. this evening.
It is.
Right?
And we're typically open till 6, so we're just opening a couple more hours after that. So, but we're starting a little early, so hopefully a lot of people can be able to come.
Might as well go if you're downtown instead of sitting in rush hour.
Exactly.
Head over to the Heart Gallery.
Way better than that. And one thing that's also really neat about it is that she is not taking any proceeds. If the pieces sell, the money is going to be split between the Heart Gallery and the community kitchen.
Yes, and that's something we see in Chattanooga, the heart of Chattanooga, and this is Valentine's month, and galleries like the In-Town Gallery is supporting you, the Heart Gallery.
I'm sorry, you cut out. I can't hear you.
I'm sorry, I think that's the sirens in the background.
Hello?
There's sirens. I don't think you can hear me because of the sirens. Was that better?
Could you hear the sirens?
Yes, I could.
Wow, I am really far back in the building.
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's okay. We're gonna work through it because this is important. And this being February and people are thinking about love, and I know that also the Heart Gallery has support coming from the In-Town Gallery concerning your own endeavors in this community. So that's coming up, I believe, Friday night, the opening of that interaction. Am I correct on that?
Was that In-Town Gallery already opening? Did
I miss the date on that?
Opening this week, you know? It was
okay, so I got the date
Friday.
wrong. But that's currently an open show. Is it an ongoing show?
Yes, it's
right.
the entire month of February, but the opening for it was last Friday.
Sorry about that. I thought I saw the date there, but so that shows the heart of Chattanooga again, to open up this community and artists helping each other to.
You keep cutting out. I can only hear parts of what you're saying.
I think it's when the sirens are going by. So that's when it cut out again, and I could hear another siren. Is it all right now?
Yes.
Okay. I think it's the siren issue, and apparently your building is simply allowing that to interfere with the sound. So I apologize about that. We can just send the energy that whatever's going on downtown is stopped and over here. So, but concerning this this exhibit this evening, I assume we're going to be able to meet the artist. And how much of the gallery have you set up with her work?
It's one main wall, which is where we normally do kind of a feature show. It's at the very beginning, and she has 10 pieces that will be on display that were kind of her 10 favorites out of what she had. And we've got, some information about it. And then we have a couple ways that people can help if they, for instance, wanted to donate but don't necessarily want to have a piece themselves for their home. They can actually do a donation, a minimum donation for the photo, and then the photo can actually then be put into our program where we actually help people who get who are first-time homeowners, and they get to pick out a piece of artwork for their new home. And people donate artwork for that, and people can actually purchase the piece for that to help people that have been struggling and have their first home, which is really neat too.
That's really wonderful, because one of the premises I like to speak about on the show is how important original and beautiful artwork is in our home, how it relates, to society, to our hearts, to our imaginations, and to the onward growing of our mind as we input art into our mind. So I think that's really exciting. Concerning Carrie's work, or Katrina's, I'm sorry, is this photography based on her experiences? Is this almost like a little bit dark or a little bit very real about life, or what's the venue?
Yes, that's a good question. No, these are actually all portraits, and they are portraits of local homeless or people that, you know, are in the community of the homeless. So it's not, they're actually to me, very empowering and very positive pieces. You know, they definitely share, I think, an intensity about the individual. They're really beautiful photographs, but they all focus on their face and an expression of some sort that they, you know, offered up to her. So it's, yeah, to me, there's nothing dark about it at all.
So her capturing the heart of these people. And it's funny because the show prior to this today on David Tulis' show, just before this show, was about the homeless community in Chattanooga. And and it's amazing that this is connecting to that. And, you know, about how we can embrace the homeless. We shouldn't fear them. We shouldn't be afraid to interact. You know, these are people, and they're doing their best. They're not out there because they choose to be. You know, I was homeless in a moment. My apartment was condemned, and in a moment, I had nowhere to go. And I had, fortunately, some friends and support that stepped in. But that feeling when you walk up and there's signs on your door that you can't live there. Suddenly, it's a shock, and this can happen to anyone.
It is. It's true, and I've learned that a lot just working with Art Gallery and with so many of our artists that, you know, a lot of different circumstances led these people to where they are. So it's not, like you said, it's not like just some sort of choice. You know, a lot of them had very typical kinds of lives before this happened to them. So
I've been amazed in the last few months how many of my working professional friends end up in basically a homeless situation for many reasons. It's quite shocking, really, and you would be surprised how many people experience this. Yes,
it's very true. And, you know, some people have, when you have other challenges as well, whether it be addiction issues or have mental or physical health issues, you know, that compounds the situation so much further. And that's, you know, what happens with a lot of people. I mean, if you just think about our veteran community alone, there's so many homeless veterans still, and
shame on us as a country for that. Shame on our country for that.
People, there's trying to even find the resources is a difficult task a lot of the time. So it's really important to educate people.
It is, and you know, I have a daughter who has extreme medical situations and is not homeless, but if she was, I mean, she does not mind if I share because she's actually starting a movement of her own. She is incontinent completely as an adult, and she makes clothing and undergarments for adults who deal with this. And she is now drawing beautiful images of children with ostomies and people with no, you know, the situations of people who have no colon or these sort of issues go through. And we might look at someone who's homeless and we think something, you know, oh, well, they must have done something wrong. Well, you have no idea what got them to that point.
That's right.
You know, I'm excited to see this tonight, and I'm definitely going to be there and encourage you guys to check out the show prior to this at the Art Gallery, because I'm quite certain some of the information shared would be beneficial. A lot of it you may already know because you're involved in this, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the two things connected back to back. So, you know, I encourage you to at least check that out and get his information. I didn't catch the gentleman's name because I was just coming in, but so we can continue to reach out and help the homeless in this community. And I've attended the Art Gallery multiple times. I've gone to Signal School with you guys to help the children there and paint with them, and it's wonderful.
Great.
So the fundraiser that's going on in town too, in this community, you with your hearts, you can go there. You can support the Art Gallery, who supports others. you know, and it just connects one thing to the other for our city, for Chattanooga, and for the people of this town. So that's,
yes. Thank you so much.
You know, so other than this, you know, Heart Gallery, can you give us a quick rundown of how people can get a hold of you, how they can come and see your things, and exactly all the wonderful, exciting things that are going on with the supplies and the funds that are being raised right now for Heart Gallery?
Yes, so we do a lot of classes out in the community, and we are always kind of coming up with new programming. Actually, right now, my coworker Brooke is doing a class with all ladies who have limited or no vision. So it's a low vision to no vision art class, and it's really special. It's really neat. So some of them were artists before they lost their sight, and so they're dealing with, you know, what is happening to their eyesight and the fact that they're, you know, struggling with losing some capability visually. And then some of them are discovering art now as sort of a therapeutic situation. So it's really fascinating, and they're really wonderful artists and wonderful people. And, you know, that's just one example. But we have an open studio where our artists come in and they can work and use our supplies, which definitely helps them because a lot of them are very low to no income. And so donations of art supplies are always great. We will definitely use them in our programming on a daily basis. We, you know, obviously cash is great too because we do so many different neat programs. And you can find us at heartgallerytn.com online. And you can also come by the gallery. We're open Wednesday through Friday from 11 to 6 and Saturday from 9 to 2. And what else?
Well, it's a beautiful gallery. It's a lovely gallery. The work in there is gorgeous and varied.
Thank you.
You can also get a lot of wonderful jewelry there for really affordable prices. And
that's one thing too, that we keep the prices low so that work can you know, sell more quickly, but also so that people who normally wouldn't be able to afford work in a gallery can actually buy art too. So it's really neat to see you know, young people or all kinds of different people who are able to come in and actually find pieces that really speak to them, and you know, be able to start their own art collection and feel really good about where their money is going and they're supporting.
Yeah, I truly think Heart Gallery is very unique, and those of you who have not visited, I encourage you to do so. It is a friendly, lovely environment, and the people you meet there are serious and serving in this community, packing up vehicles full of supplies and going out to children and other people who do not have access to these things, and encouraging and uplifting their lives through this donation of time and effort. So it truly is a worthy cause, and I'm really excited about tonight to see the photography coming from the lifestyle that was openly shared by Katrina Kabe. That's difficult in itself, to step out and say, I was addicted to drugs, I was a prostitute, you know, to even have the bravery to come past that and then let your art speak to others and then reach into their lives to help them also deal with this. I just find that respectful, and I'm excited to see what she's got. So I'll definitely be there tonight and meeting Katrina Kabe myself. So
that's wonderful. I'm so glad to hear it.
Yeah. Well, I'm really happy to that you could call in today, and then I kind of basically stumbled on this today. I thought, oh my goodness, this is fantastic. So
well,
you know,
we're so glad that you did, and we really appreciate you letting others know about it.
Well, I'd love to, anytime you want to come on and share. Truly, I am very interested in the Heart Gallery, and only the busyness of life keeps some of us from being more involved. Anytime you want to share on this show, I'm happy to have you guys and help support through that, you know, because I think it's a wonderful thing you're doing there. And really, everybody, go out, check this out tonight, because it's a gallery you're going to want to go back to over and over again. It's just really amazing work. And, you know, you might think, oh, we're talking about homeless people's art. No, this is artists' art. It's real art.
And it's, you know, and it's really neat because we change things out a lot too. And, you know, if nothing else, we're providing a place of, you know, community and expression and really therapy in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much. We got to go now.
So,
we'll be back.
So many benefits.
Thank you for calling. And we got to go for now, but I will see you this evening at 5 at the Art Gallery.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
There's a reason why Alliance Physical Therapy is a choice of professionals and those who care about first-class, top-notch service and treatment. Because at Alliance Physical Therapy of Chattanooga, we don't just treat the symptoms in your body. Whether you're suffering from stiffness, muscle spasms, back pain, chronic headaches every day, stress of life demanding more and more of you, Alliance Physical Therapy takes a holistic approach to healing mind, body, and soul. Alliance Physical Therapy with a location near you and 9 others in the Chattanooga area. If you don't have a doctor or if your physician's plan for chronic pain is not working, Alliance Physical Therapy will help. Visit Alliance Physical Therapy on the web at nopainpt.com. That's nopainpt.com. Alliance Physical Therapy.
In the middle of our street. Hi, I'm Sabrina with Sabrina Realty Associates. Now is a great time to sell your home. In our area, inventory is at an all-time low, which translates into higher sales prices. Call us today at 423-499-7780 to set up a free consultation and discuss our unique and aggressive marketing programs. We will provide you with a free market analysis to determine the right value of your home. Call us today at 423-499-7780 or visit our website at sabrinarealty.com.
Our house in the middle of our street. Our house.
What? Oh no, I can't believe my phone screen is cracked. I cracked it. I can't believe my screen is cracked. I need my phone.
Whoa. Slow down, wild man. We've got an easy solution. Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Your cell phone repair doctor is on the job. Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Check out our brand new location. Just off I-75, Old Lee Highway next to Zaxby's. That's right, your cell doctor in Ottawa, Cell Surgeon, most of the time can fix your smartphone on the spot. Your cell phone repair doctor is on the job. Cell Surgeon in Ottawa. Check out our brand new location. Just off I-75, Old Lee Highway next to Zaxby's. Cell Surgeon for all your cell needs. Most repairs are performed in less than an hour. TheCellSurgeon.com. Go to TheCellSurgeon.com.
Daisy, get my cell phone out of your mouth right now.
Is your career taking you where you want to go? If not, talk to Covenant Group Insurance, especially if you like helping people. Call and learn how you can work for yourself, but not by yourself. Intense but free training, plus a fantastic lead program, plus office support equals your success, your prosperity. Gross at least $75,000 your first year selling insurance. Call Steve or Jada for a confidential interview. That's 855-8484. Maybe the most important call you'll make all year.
Wars come and go, but my soldiers stay eternal.
Now you can listen to Hot News Talk Radio anywhere, streaming live at Noogaradio.com. That's Noogaradio.com. Hot News Talk 1240.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
AM 1240 Nooga Radio News. Russell Stroud reporting. Police say credit card thieves caught red-handed at the Mapco gas station on Highway 153. Police say 2 men from Tampa, Florida were caught red-handed attempting to tamper with a Mapco gas station gas pump, adding a credit card skimming device to steal your info. The 2 men were chased down and arrested, both charged with tampering with evidence, although one also charged with possession of cocaine for resale. Earlier reports indicated they were from a larger organized crime syndicate. The body found at the bottom of a cliff in Grundy County has been identified as formerly belonging to Brandon Price, who's 25 years old. He went missing back in January from Tracy City. His body was found by a hiker. Police say there's a man with a gun and a white Hyundai Elantra robbing people at random. Police say there are 3 separate reports of a black male jumping out of a white Hyundai with a gun, demanding money of 3 different victims, and then driving away. They say if you spot this vehicle, you're asked to call police, and if you spot the suspect, call police as well. If it's going on in the Tennessee Valley, it's going on Nooga Radio News. Like us on Facebook and get us on the TuneIn Radio app on your smartphone.
Expect more sunshine, but breezy and chilly weather out there through your afternoon. Highs only to the lower to middle 40s. Tonight, clear, quite cold, lows mid-20s. For Friday, lots of sunshine. Nice warm-up for the afternoon, mid and upper 50s. More clouds, lower 60s Saturday. Come to Larry's world-famous buffet in Trenton for some of the finest home-style cooking around. Larry also offers catering for parties. That's Larry's, open Thursdays through Sundays, just off 559 in Trenton. And I'm Sports Scene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Orr.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240. Downtown Chattanooga's home for news, talk, and sports. Nooga Radio 101.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Art Beat of Chattanooga, where art lives. And we had a great first half talking with the folks at the Art Gallery about the show that's opening tonight. And I'm going to share that with you. A very exciting premise that this nonprofit gallery helps people, homeless people recovering from addiction, people who are blind or deaf or challenged that way, and some seniors as well. But they reach into this community through the Art Gallery and make a difference in Chattanooga. They make a difference in people's lives. And there's 2 things surrounding that I'm going to bring up, just refresh us on, is the opening tonight with at the Art Gallery, which is right there on, where is this address? Let me look it up. Sorry about that. Katrina Cabe. And that's at 5 o'clock tonight. And she has come from a life of homelessness, prostitution, and addiction to now working, helping adults get their GEDs, using her photography to share the heart of the homeless and needy with the viewer. So I encourage you to go tonight to the Art Gallery to see this show by Katrina Cabe. And the benefits go to the Community Kitchen and the Art Gallery, both nonprofit organizations. She's not keeping any of this money for herself from her prints. You can even buy a print and donate it to, they help people who have been struggling and are first-time homeowners. And you can buy a piece of art to give to somebody who is just in that situation, coming out of a difficult life, coming out of possibly living on the street with their children, shelters and this sort of thing. And they've brought themselves up through life, through the catastrophic events, no doubt, that brought them to that point. And you can even help to enrich their home yourself by purchasing a piece for donating to them. So it's a very wonderful gallery there. And I really hope you can visit it, if not tonight, any other time that they're open, because what they're doing is amazing. They're all over Chattanooga. They have a huge room of supplies that they just use, and they don't charge people for these supplies. They just allow them to use them. And today they were actually having a class with women who are losing their eyesight, some already artists, some aspiring artists. And we may not think of that, a blind artist. Well, there's already a blind artist at the Art Gallery, and he cuts little tiny calendar swirl beads that he makes, and he creates beautiful pieces of work just using his fingers and his hands and feeling what he's doing. So anyone can really do this sort of thing. This part of the show, I'm going to talk a little bit about how to start art if you're interested in that. Why encourage art in your life or your children's lives? The other thing with the Art Gallery that I want to mention is the show at the In-Town Gallery on Fraser Avenue. And they are supporting a fellow gallery through a fundraiser show for them, which is raising funds to support the Art Gallery and the needs that they have to continue working in this community and reaching out with their heart of love to help people in this life. And, we talked about homelessness for a minute there. And, in a heartbeat, anyone can be homeless. You may not think so, but it happened to me through a very strange situation of, my apartment became condemned, and suddenly I couldn't live there, boom. So I had support and I got through it, but not everyone has that support, and it's very difficult. I found navigating that world in Chattanooga very difficult for somebody who is even a working professional. It almost worked against me because I was above the poverty line and I couldn't get assistance to find the avenues, of what you do when that happens. So this kind of support is really important to me personally as well. So I hope you can go out and support either one of these things. You're welcome to call. Maybe you're homeless. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you know a situation or another group that's supporting people in Chattanooga through art. I'd love to talk with you. You can call 423-800-8949, 423-800-8949. And I'd love to chat with you here on the Art Beat of Chattanooga. So something I want to talk about a little bit is how I taught art. I taught art all through, I taught elementary art, high school art, and went to college and everything like that for art. And through that, I developed in the beginning something called look and draw, because most people aren't comfortable just doing something abstract and feeling comfortable with it, especially kids. And it all kinds of starts when we're kids, that we are drawing and open to that. So a concept that I can share is called look and draw. And it's pretty simple. You just get a sketchbook and a pencil or pen, and without a lot of concentration on what you're drawing, you're more looking at it and letting your hand describe what you're looking at. And you get almost a more realistic thing than if you just let your mind do it, because you're studying what's the geometry, where does that line go, what angle is it, that sort of thing. So it's really easy to teach kids this. You just look and draw what you're looking at, and if they get frustrated, it's okay. It's a practice. A sketchbook is the starting point, because no one can judge your sketchbook. The masters had it, and paintings that they finished up and are now on the Sistine Chapel started in sketches. There's many studies done prior to these famous pieces usually being produced. So that's one thing. And the other one is, and this is kind of an interesting thing I discovered, is if you take the creation story, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. So if you take that, and the first thing you do is take a pastel and a paper and just color the blue on the top. I'm going to try and show you here backwards, because that's going to be fun. So for those of you who can't see because you're listening on the air, you just make a blue sky. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So I'm going to do this real messy, so just to give you the idea. But this particular technique gets children drawing in a successful way that they understand. It puts things into a perspective for kids, where it allows them to realize how you can layer, how you can look at what you really see. Instead of the sun in the corner, they're drawing, okay, this is the sky, and then the heavens and the earth. Then you're going to take brown and you're going to do some earth. This is not a pastel, this is a color pencil stick, so it's kind of messy, but I'm just really trying to give you the concept here. So then you've got your basic beginning. The sky meets the earth. There's not a white space in between. They join just like they do when you look at them. And that helps kids get past that stage of, drawing the sky as a line up in the blue, and then down below is the earth, and then the sun's in the corner. This kind of helps them get past that. So in the beginning, let me think if I can remember my Sunday school stuff here. The earth was out there and void. So then he then put the plants. I think I'm trying to remember that. So then the green things appeared, and you literally can just take, I should have read it, huh? So then you can just take your green and kind of scribble trees along the horizon, and further up if you want, but you just kind of, okay, now the trees are on the horizon, like you'd see them looking at things. So then you've got your ground, your sky, and your foliage, and then he created the birds of the air and the fish, and you can, make just a little squiggly for a couple birds. And we're going to add some water down here because they separated the waters from the waters, the sky from the water. So your water is then going to be separate. So now you have your blue at the bottom as well. And then, of course, there were sea creatures created, which we may not really see. So, but you already have a basic, very scribbly, because I'm doing this backwards on the fly, description of a landscape, you know, and this is certainly no piece of art. But if you use pastels and your child does this, they end up with a really nice little drawing, and they've learned to take it to the next step, you know, of how do I get this to the next level of what I want to draw. So this painting here, which I can describe to those of you who can't see, it is called Venice Evening. And this is done in acrylic. But in this one, the sky is bright oranges. And you don't see any land because it's Venice, at least not in the background. But in the foreground, you still have your ground. You have your people and, you know, the representation of a very bright sunset going on with kind of whimsical buildings that have almost spatial personalities along the waterfront and gondolas and things. But from the base of the children or artists learning how to make the layers first, then you can produce, you know, layer after layer, creating the image you want to create. So that's kind of how it's done. It's in layers. So that's one aspect that I just kind of wanted to share. And then, you know, there's also total validity in realistic drawing. And I used to do more basically photorealism, pencil work in college and early years of my artwork. But now this is more of what I've done with that sort of thing, is a more loose approach with line. That's the other thing is, you know, encourage your people or yourself, just work with different line, pointillism, what I call squiggle drawing, where you just let your hand describe what you're looking at. You don't even really look at it. You just maybe look at trees and just kind of let your hand go to what you're seeing and just let it happen. You have to remember with art, no one has to see it. Everything's practice until it's finished and you're in love with it. You know, so once you're done, like this little Venice painting here, this was a really fun, whimsical piece that I did that's kind of different than some of my other things. And yet it's clearly also a lot of my own style. But no one had to see it if I didn't like it, you know. So there's another kind of whimsical style I like, and this is kind of looks like watercolor, but it's not. And it's a woman with a blue dress, a red hat, walking a poodle in a park. And it's done in a watercolor style with acrylic. And it was drawn, just line drawing with paint. And then just kind of gone back into, and it's just fun and whimsical. Not everything has to look like a perfect photograph or an abstract. You know, there's anywhere in between that you can try. So I'm just trying a lot of different styles. And, you know, the whole look and draw, that's contrary to maybe modern art. But even then, I saw a piece at the Hunter this last week, and I'm not super excited about some modern art. You know, when I see like 3 squares and there's 3 colors and that's just it, I'm like, okay, my own response to that is not an emotional response other than how did that get in a museum? So, you know, we all have our own personal preferences, but looking at our universe, looking at nature, helps us to learn how to communicate our vision of this world and society into that form, you know, into an art form. And there's a lot of artists in this day and age who are moving more into representing society through their art, specifically choosing to represent it. And my friend Mo Mitchell, who is a modern master, he's just really doing that same thing. And here, this group in Chattanooga called the 800 Collective. You know, they literally, their statement is it possible for art to change our social and moral fabric? You know, is that possible for art to change our social and moral fabric? I think it is. I think it goes both ways. The social world affects our art, but as we share our internal heart and our view of the world, I believe it does help to change the fabric of our world. So they discuss all walks of life, from social issues, or sit in silence and work. Paint what you feel, paint what you see, paint what is real to you. And I think that's the real goal, is to continue to communicate what's in your heart. This is a very interesting group that they worked along Howard High School on an art project titled To Thine Be True. And the goal of the project was to help students to create a sense of ownership, of learning in their environment rather than a place that's unwelcoming or restrictive. So familiarizing yourself with society, with what you're seeing. Why do the artists all around Chattanooga and the world want to paint murals and sneak and paint on railroad cars? I mean, I live across from the train track, and I'm telling you, it's like a moving gallery. There's literally a style that I'm seeing on these cars. I've written poetry about it already. I find it amazing as this massive machine moves through space, literally the molecules just racing by. And on here, you can see these images that people have taken a lot of time to create on a train car. And a lot of them are in order. It's almost like their own personal gallery traveling through the world. It's not graffiti. It's not negative. It's very beautifully done. And I, for the most part, see these people are painting on the train cars and on the alleyways and things like that, not to say something negative, but to say something positive about the world, to say, I'm here. This is my canvas. And I just think that trains have become fascinating to me because of the level of artwork on them and how many people get to see it. It just flies by, but you can see it. And I commend those artists. I kind of want to do that myself. I'm not sure how to pull that off, like, how do you go paint a train car? I mean, really, it's pretty cool. So I brought another piece, and this is from my new series. And this is an impressions painting. And it's related directly to breast cancer survivors. And I'm working on sharing that I am looking for women or men who have had breast cancer, have breast cancer, and want to be involved in this movement of impressions to represent either the beauty, the pain, the struggle, whatever part of this that you're going through with breast cancer. And I have a series of work together concerning this, but I want to add to that. I want to the people in the community who are dealing with that. And it's kind of an odd thing because I literally am going to do your human impression on canvas, and it may not even look like you. They turn out many different ways. But what really happens is we try to communicate together through how this goes, how you feel about this. And no feeling is invalid in art. If you feel sad, I've had breast cancer survivors tell me that they don't want anyone to see them. They don't feel beautiful anymore. And if I can make someone see themselves as beautiful or share that they don't feel beautiful and maybe help to move on from that, that would be a wonderful thing. So you can always contact me through the station if you are listening to this and you'd like to get involved in that. I'm also interested in working with homeless people and doing paintings and things concerning that experience. So, we can work together to share. You may be homeless. You may be an artist that came up through the Heart Gallery, and people in the community have helped you to get past that. The biggest thing is, let's not judge someone who's homeless or hurting, or you see them and you're like, kind of, ew, I don't want to talk to them. It could have been me. It could have been you. It could be, at the turn, a job is gone, a house burns down, a spouse dies, whatever. So many things can change so quickly that, having a great job and a place to live, it's for a moment. Hopefully not, but it can be for a moment. And in that turn of a moment, some of these people's lives change. And, let's show them the love. Let's go to the Heart Gallery tonight from 5 to 8 and see these black and white photographs that this been produced by a woman who was homeless, was addicted to drugs, was a prostitute. I mean, the courage to come up and say that alone is amazing to me. And now she's reaching out to help other people, to get their GED and move forward in their lives. So this is an amazing journey that Katrina Cabe is on and has been through. And I'm excited to meet her tonight. I'll be there. I'm going to do a live feed from there tonight to promote and share what's really going on there. And I hope that many of you can join. Skip rush hour. Go to the Heart Gallery and hang out. They've got free parking. There's another gallery across the street. I won't name it right now, but there's a lot of cool places right there. But when you meet these people at the Heart Gallery and these artists that they work with, it's a special moment. It's a special group of people in a special place. Nonprofit. They give their proceeds into the community and to help homeless, hurting people. And it's worth our time and effort. And I know that Chattanooga has the heart for the people in this community who have needs. It's everywhere. I'm encouraging you to continue. I know that most of you already do so much and give so much. And if we can just bring a little awareness on that through art, we can also really reach into society, really encourage others and share our journeys and our struggles, that it's worth our time, and our money and our efforts. So I really hope to see some of you there tonight. And if you were listening or watching the show, please say hello and let the Heart Gallery and I know that you do care and that you're paying attention to others. And in the nation right now that's struggling and kind of frightened about the changes, we at the grassroots can still say to each other, I love you, I care, I'm still here for you. We don't have to, fight and squabble about politics. We can just help each other. And through art, through giving, through music, through so many things, food kitchens, which these proceeds are going to help feed people right here in Chattanooga. So I really hope you can attend tonight. And as always, I encourage you to just keep teaching your kids artwork, because I really believe it's going to help them grow in their life. So thanks so much for joining me on the Art Beat of Chattanooga. I'm Jillian Collins, your host. My website is Vanguard Artistry, and I'll see you next week.